whole summary of malware is to change how your computer works, and you see that in different types of malware. We are talking about virus, we look at Trojan, we look at worms. I don't know if anybody knows what the virus is. I think even without cybersecurity, you've heard of viruses before. When they say, I don't put my flash to your system, my system, don't put your flash to my system, I don't want the virus to enter in. I don't know if anybody has said that kind of thing before. Have you said this before? Nobody has said it before. Okay. So a virus is an example of a malware because what it does is that when you have a virus on your laptop, you can lose certain files. It can change the way your laptop works. So that is why it's an example of a malware. And as we proceed, we are going to see different types of malwares. So that let's say in the future, when you become a cybersecurity professional, it may not happen to you, but it will be easy for you to detect it when somebody complains about a particular thing. You know what type of malware it is. You know, okay, this one is not a virus. So the person may come and say, ah, I think my system has a virus. But then you now look at it and say, oh no, it's not a virus, it's actually a Trojan horse. So now the types of malware, the first one we're going to look at is phishing attacks. Phishing attacks by far is one of the most common malware out there, and we would know it actually proves how common it is because what my dear friend is actually a phishing attack. So you received an email, and the email came out to look like it was your bank that sent it to you. Like, okay. So, sorry, please can you tell us that story so that those of us who did not hear actually, because I want to use it to explain phishing and practice now.
I believe very strongly that most of us have received that kind of email where uh, somebody is acting as if, let me use bank for instance. I just got the email, I think it was GT Bank then, and some of the information that was contained in that email was for me to regularize some information. They said some things they're not going right, so I had to log in, so I entered um, personal, but sensitive personal identifiable information, like my password, account details, just all of those details. So I entered all of that. And that was it. So I was thinking I was dealing with the bank. Then a few days later, I got to the bank to withdraw money. And I think I was from ATM. And it didn't pay. So I entered inside the banking hall. And they said, okay, we don't have money. I said, it's not possible. As at this time, I was even working as a manager with one company, one Indian company. I said, me, don't have. It's not possible. And what the problem actually was that thing I bought, in that period, I bought a new laptop. So I got to playing around with it, but then it's not now, around 2003. I've been in this space over 20 years. So I just started then to that excitement. I was responding to everything, went to email, went to this, and all that. And I bought that system then about 20,000 naira or so, something like that. So I withdrew 20,000 and paid. So I kept getting the maximum amount that, as at that time, that you can withdraw was 20 from 80. So I was getting a lot of 20,000 naira, which was also the highest amount that can be withdrawn per time. So I was thinking, is that 20,000 naira that I withdrew? That was why I didn't even go to the bank. I didn't even bother to check the balance. I keep seeing alert. To me, this bank people said, so you understand what I'm saying? So after many days, I went to the bank. And they have wiped money. You can feel my pain. That's why I said I want to give those guys. Yes, and I mean it. Yes, I want to bring it to a level of
work it out the case. I don't want to leave your brain here. Remember, I've seen the time when I boxed
Okay, thank you so much for sharing. So in the story we can hear his pain, and this is something that's common with people who have actually faced similar attacks. So he saw the email and he was asked to fill in certain details. When you asked to click on a link, did you click on any link?
Yes, yes. You know, the more they link,
Okay,
and then you start
yes.
entering.
Okay. So that is a typical example of a phishing attack. So they send the link to you, and the link appears legitimate. It appears so real to some people. But if you look closely, there will have been ways for you to spot that it is a phishing attack so that you do not fall victim. One of these is, I don't know if, let me check if this slide has, okay, great. So if we take a look at this example, this is an example of an email, and we can see that it's a phishing attack, and let's just read this. It says, our record indicates that you recently made a request to terminate your Office 365 email, and this process has begun by our administrator. If this request was made accidentally and you have no knowledge of it, you are advised to verify your account below. Click here to verify. Please give us 24 hours to terminate your account or verify your account. Failure to verify will result in closure of your account. So this particular email is very strict. To tell them that I did not send anything. Not knowing that it is still a phishing attack. You want me to do okay. So is it better? Okay. So if I did not send anything, okay. I may think that okay, an attacker is somewhere trying to do something, and this is them. They are really so I'll now click here. But from the indications that we have here, it's showing us how we can actually spot that it's a phishing attack. And one of the ways is don't trust an email just because it's at this. There are some emails that look like they are official, but you have to stop and think every time when you receive emails. Then they said here, when you click here, if it's actually a real, if it's the site that claims to be, it says the link goes to a suspicious website. But if it's actually the site that sends it, when you hover your mouse around links, it's supposed to show an overview of the actual website. So this is already indicating that okay, this is not a legitimate website and it's not the people who sent it. Then we can see here, watch for spelling, punctuation, and grammar errors highlighted. So most of the times, although even when I'm sending like mails by myself, I used to make mistakes. So most times when I do it that way, I reach out to them and say, okay, you guys come and me. I'm actually the one who sent it. Because most of the emails I send personally are to people who are very trained on cybersecurity awareness. So when they see it like that and I've made a mistake, they will stop and ask, okay, is it actually from online, that kind of thing. So a very good way to know that it is not real is spelling. Sometimes spelling will even be worse than this. You see how they spell administrator. Let's say so instead of O to be a U. And you feel now wow, she does be smarter than this. So I think I received a phishing attack recently, And what they're telling me is that someone wants to have access to my WhatsApp. But thank God for applications like Truecaller, I just took the number that sent the message to me and then I used it to scan. And I saw that many people have reported that particular number to be a scam. So it was easy for me to go away with it and not stress myself too much. So, like I said, this is a typical example. The last tip that they're giving us there is that if an else never asks you to click links to verify your account. So what this is trying to tell us is that this particular example now, these people all have already told customers that they will never ask you to verify your account. I don't know if any of us has cheaper cash, but if you have the application, they're always sending notifications like cheaper will never ask you for exactly. So when you and it claims to be cheaper, saying that okay, certain this, certain that you know, because cheaper keeps telling you that they would never ask for information like that. So those are there are various ways to stay safe against phishing attacks. There are more, I think I included more in this slide, but these are just typical ways you can stay safe against phishing attacks. So this is another example. Now there are even very common ones. You know, situations where you see people trying to um trying to dupe you with um popular websites, and then they will now use wrong links. And I think well, I'll just save this slide so that you guys can go over it because of time. So now the next type of malware is a virus attack. And I think I already mentioned this. And a virus is the most common type of malware that can execute itself and spread by infecting other programs or files. And I've already used an example where we tell people who have their flash saying that okay, don't put your flash on my system. It's going to get it infected with a virus. And I don't know if anybody has if there's anybody who has okay, so we there to avoid virus attacks, I think one of the simplest ways, very basic way, is to not allow just anything into your laptop. That is one. And then using of softwares like antivirus software so that you can prevent attacks like that. Then the next one is this is common signs of a virus attack. So for anybody who does not know, okay, is my system actually going through a virus attack? Let's say later in the future you're helping somebody to identify what is wrong with their computer because they will come and say, ah, your cybersecurity, ah, my laptop, this, my laptop, that. So how do you know if it's a virus attack and if it's actually your business? Because you know, there are some things as cybersecurity professional you're not be able to do. Because imagine if you're a cybersecurity professional and then someone comes and meets and says, oh, please, oh, my laptop is not booting. What do I want to do in that particular situation? I'm a cybersecurity professional, I'm not a technician. But okay, one way is to the speed of your system. That is one way to identify a virus attack. You would know if your system is visually fast and suddenly it sounds slow. And besides the other technical issues that we have, it's okay in that aspect. It's just suddenly slow. You know that okay, it's a sign of a virus attack. Now the next sign to look out for is pop-up windows, random windows. So it may not even be on your system, it can also be on your phone when you're just minding your business, you're not even on the internet, but your data is on and suddenly something pops up, something that's like a illegitimate site, just a random pop-up comes on your system or on your phone, a sign of a virus attack. Then we have programs self-executing. Let's take for instance, I'm here, I am on Edge, and suddenly, as I'm talking to you guys, my Microsoft Teams launches. It does. There are sometimes that it automatically comes up on its own. That one is natural. Is if it's you can disable that particular feature. But let's just say that peradventure it doesn't usually pop up, and then I'm here talking to you guys, and it pops up. That's when I was talking that, oh, it's something I have to look out for because I may have a virus on my system. Then we have accounts being logged out. So you are on a particular account, even let's take your phone for instance, your Gmail account, you signed in, but when you come back, it's no longer signed in. So that's an example of a virus, spot a virus. There is crashing of device, your laptop suddenly crashes or your phone crashes, that is a sign of a virus attack. Then we have mass emails being sent from your email account. So if someone just comes and says, I'm you sent me 10 emails. So that time you're talking about, I was sleeping, I don't know what you're talking about. So that's an example to look out for when you talk about virus attacks. So now the next type of malware that we are going to look at is the Trojan horse attack. So a Trojan is a malware. Should I explain this one? Okay, no. I'll leave it. I like leaving the Trojan or self-replicate from one computer to another without human activation after breaching the system. So there was a movie I watched once. There were two companies that were having competition with themselves, two tech companies. And the competitor, one of them, let's say company A, company B sent an email to company A. So that's another thing with phishing attacks. So with a phishing attack, there can now be another attack inside the phishing attack. So company B sent an email to company A, and company A got the email, and he got it to his phone. But that phone, he now used his laptop to access the email, and he saw something like he saw something that said use one. He used the what he used to lure him was that he used the fact that he had won funding for his company and was so excited. He did not go. He just clicked on it, not knowing that pre-installed that link was a worm. So immediately he clicked on it. Once it's on my system, can get into the system without any cyber criminal saying, okay, I want to come and make it to move. Once it's on one system, it enters the next system without any stress. So typically, it won't spread across the network through your internet or local area network connection. And local area network connection is just our normal network connection for we have our network engineering development here. So I'm sure that you understand what that means. So when it's that kind of connection, just like what I use the instance of company A and company B, that one is still there. So what does a computer worm do? The first thing is to drop other malware like spyware or ransomware. Can drop other ransomware malwares like that. And as we proceed, we are going to talk about them. Then it consumes bandwidth, deletes files, overloads networks, steals data, opens a backdoor, and depletes hard drive space. So we saw that one thing that a worm does is to install a spyware. Now, what exactly is a spyware attack? Spyware is malicious software that enters a user's computer, gathers data from the device and user, and sends to third party without their consent. So let's go back to the instance of company A and company B. So imagine if company B's real intent was not to actually delete anything, because they were going for a competition, so he needed the software that they were going to use for the competition deleted, and that was what they deleted. So peradventure, that was not what they wanted to do. They just wanted to spy on them, to know how the company operates and how to do their stuff. So instead of having to delete the application, they would have just installed the spyware instead. So you can click on a link and nothing happens. You can actually click on the phishing link and nothing happens. You just say, okay, hang on, nothing happened. It was not actually real, or I was just lucky this time. Not knowing that they've installed a spyware and they're spying on you. That's why sometimes you can see how somebody will just say that, okay, I know that you're here, I know that you're here, not knowing that there was a link that they sent to you that made them install a spyware to your system or to your phone. So there are different types of spyware, but because of time, we will not go through it. So I'll send the slides to you guys and you can go through it by yourself. There's so much. And okay, I think I'll take the keylogger. So keylogger, also known as a keystroke logger, is a type of info stealer spyware. They record the keystrokes that a user makes on their infected device, then save the data into an encrypted log file. So sometimes when you install a spyware, a keylogger is also installed. But I think one of the common things that I use, because somebody was trying to, when I just started my journey, he was trying to illustrate what a typical example of keyloggers, and he stayed from here and was able to gain access to someone's phone in Ghana. He made the person click on the link. Person clicked on the link. He installed the spyware. So I was now seeing this Ghanaian's phone on my friend's phone, and he installed a keylogger. This guy did not know that the keylogger was installed on his phone. And 2 days later, he showed me the passwords that guy had imputed over 2 days. He now said that, so this is a typical example of how spyware works and how keyloggers work as well. And so if he did not know the guy, if he did not know the guy, he would have probably done something to him. So that was when, after he showed me the example, he called the guy and told that guy alpha, I've installed the keylogger, go and delete it from the phone. So imagine that kind of thing. First of all, his friend sent him the link. He clicked on the link. That's my guy. Clicked on the link. Clicked on the link. He didn't know that my guy have installed spyware. And the thing about some people who are cyber criminals is that there's a way they can make this link actually look legit. Probably you click on the link, but to never load, to be as if it's network issues. And then just I need to tired. I just not knowing that as you clicked on it, the spyware has been installed. So we have rootkits, red shell, system monitors, tracking cookies. Now, ransomware attacks. I think although Nobel has explained it for us, we're going to go over it again. Ransomware infects a user's system and encrypts its data. Cybercriminals then demand a ransom payment from the victim in exchange for decrypting the system's data. Now, this is one very common with big organizations like Microsoft, Google. Cybercriminals will take a particular data and ask them to pay very handsome amount of money for them to get their data. So imagine, and sometimes what cyber criminals do is that they are very tactical. They will make sure that the particular data that they have access to is very sensitive. Because imagine if Microsoft gets breached, and then the data that the cyber criminal has access to is another organization's data that is working with them. For their reputation, they will pay the money. That is typical example of a ransomware. It may not even happen to Microsoft or Google. It can also happen to you. Let's say there's something very private and sensitive to you, or something very important, maybe work document, maybe personal data, and then they gain access to it. You will pay the money. If it's not very important, that's when you put too much importance to it. So there are steps to take if your system is affected by ransomware. Let's say you actually come through a ransomware and you don't want to pay the money. There are actually steps that you can take to not pay it, to try and recover the data before it actually goes to a point that you now actually have to pay the money. So you could go through it when I send the slides because of the time we will not um, take it. Then we have rootkits. You go through it in your spare time. Now, we're going to talk about passwords. This one is very important. People don't really pay attention to passwords, but I feel that it's essential because passwords is it's something that is now our day-to-day life because we are now on the internet every time. So, who can tell me? Because I think I'm talking too much. Let's take the audience. What do you guys do when you talk about passwords? What comes to your mind? So I think we're going to take our dear friend back where it's Senegal. It's very good and it's not paying attention. Let's see. Can you share with us what you understand by passwords? Yes. Oh, you're not part of the class. You're not part. Sorry. I don't know. So those of you that you're not part of this class. Okay. So our friend behind, are you part of this class? Okay, you're part. Okay. So can you share with us what passwords are? What you understand by passwords? But first, you have to start with your name because we've already all introduced ourselves.
One level. My name is Adie Emmanuel Ngubwai. Password refers to the use of words, alphabets, and other use of alphabets to secure our files or documents.
Thank you so much for that. We tried. Okay. So one thing that our friend Adi mentioned was alphabets, and I think he mentioned numbers, right? So a password is a word, a phrase, or string of characters intended to differentiate an authorized user or process for the purpose of permitting access from an unauthorized user, or put another way, a password is used to prove one's identity or authorize access to a resource. It strongly implies that a password is secret. So a password usually paired with a username or other mechanism to provide authentication. Now, we're still going to do a little bit of discussion. I want three people to mention what is a good password idea.
A good password
We've
idea.
shared with us already. Yes. How do you password?
Good password is combined with alphabets, numbers, and other characters.
Thank you so much for sharing. Correct. Does anybody have any?
Okay, my idea of a good password is trivial or what no numbers, no alphabet.
Thank you for sharing. Does anybody have any ideas?
Yes. Also, the good password should not be something related to this. Have a PI, personal identifying information. Because hackers can probably use that. Use social engineering.
Okay, thank you. So if you're thinking through, so thank you for sharing. So we already have one. We have one that says it's a combination of alphabet, letters, and special characters. Then we've also got to another one that says that it should not contain any of your personal information by number. And you said that
All special characters.
it should be all special characters. Okay. So although does that mean that okay if I'm using hashtag, I should use hashtag throughout?
No, combine them.
Okay, I should combine them. Okay. So it's nice. That's also an idea of a good password. But the length would now also matter too. So we have number one, never use personal information, which we've established that. Then we've established include a combination of letters, numbers, and symbols. Secure passwords include a variety of random characters, numbers, and letters to make the password more complex. Then prioritize password length. Safe password should be at least 16 characters long. You can also make it 10 characters long. To lessen the chance of falling victim to a data breach or cyber attack. Now, it's okay to combine special characters, very okay, because I would not know, okay, after hashtag, is he using the dollar sign or is he using and sign? It's a nice idea ahead. But you also want to make it plenty. Then when you now make it plenty, you said, now forget your special character that you use. But the good thing is that, what I tell people is that if you forget your password, that means it's strong enough. I don't remember any of my passwords. I always have to reset my password. And it's a good practice because that means if an attacker knows my password today and I reset it the same today, I do not say so resetting password is actually a good practice. You have to reset it continuously. So even if you know the password, even if it's good, and if you know it and it's strong, and you're using password manager to save your password, it's still advisable to reset it once in a while. If password, let's say hygiene. Yeah. And there's something I wanted to say. When I remember, I'll say it. So never repeat passwords is another thing. Reusing the same password for different accounts puts you at a risk of credential stuffing attacks frequently used by cyber criminals. I remember when I just finished learning cybersecurity, and I had a friend that said that this was cybersecurity that I learned. I have one password for all my accounts. Remember? I said, please calm down. You have to go and start looking for how to change the password or you make different passwords on different accounts. And he was like, why would I do that? Do you know the stress that was taking me? I'm not just that. Imagine if I have to forget the password for stuff. No, please, it is long enough and I'm okay with it. When you think about it, even if the password is strong, are you telling me that, okay, fine, it's okay that my Facebook account has the same password with my Instagram, my Twitter. That means anybody who has access to my Facebook has access to my Instagram and Twitter as well. So that means my three social media platforms are gone. Immediately you know what password. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, the essence of not repeating passwords is that if at all there is a hack, they should not be able to do more damage. Exactly. So even if, let's say, peradventure, your password is so strong and you just fall victim, they should not at least have access to too much. So that's why not repeating passwords is emphasized. Then we have avoid using real words. It's also in the same way with this information, real words, like people would use dictionary words and they will make it so easy. You say, okay, nobody will know that, and nobody will know I'm using initiative. Who will even think of initiative? But you don't know that cyber criminals are so smart, and not just cyber criminals, cyber security professionals. Cybersecurity professionals as a whole are so smart, and because that's how you have to be. You have to be smart and even smarter than the attacker because that's the only way you can stay clear against them. So you have to know what to do. It's advisable that you get aware, get yourself aware, and get yourself updated. So let's take for instance, you're talking to me, and then your password is initiative. There is no how if I'm interested in knowing your password, I will not find out that it's initiative. There is no how. Because initiative is a word that is very easy to understand, like very just like there will be one way or the other that we are conversing and I will now make you say it. And then if I'm smart enough, I'll connect the dots and then I'll get the password. So it's not advisable to use real words. Let's say, okay, for instance, we're using you want your password to be the help, consultant, and techies. You want to use that. But at the same time, you don't want an attacker to know that you're using that. And you're using it because it's something that it's easy for you to remember. But at the same time, you don't want them to be able to hack you. So, and a typical example of a safe password when you're using the health techniques and consultants, sorry, the health consultants and techniques would be probably using the DA in the health, then using the TAN in consultants, then probably adding instead of using AND as a word, you use the AND symbol. Then instead of using techniques, probably just use CH from techniques, you add it together, and then you add a number probably let's say the last two digits of your phone number or two digits from your phone number, not necessarily the last two digits, because the last two digits is very shade. So you can just learn any digit from your phone number and make that password. That is a safe password and it's difficult for them to detect. They know that okay, it's a health technique or how they before they find out that okay, it's DA from this and that, and then you have to make combine it in a way that probably D capital letter, then inside it, the EH that you took from text is also capital letter and the rest are small letters. So if I had if there was a board, I would have actually written it out for you guys to. But when you're choosing password, you have to combine it. You also have to make uppercase and smaller case letters and all of that. So the next thing is password attacks. So besides malware, besides social engineering attacks, there are also password attacks. There are ways that they can attack your password and gain access to your the data. So a password attack is a typical attack vector used to compromise user account authorization. So as one of the most prominent application security concerns, it's responsible for most data breaches worldwide. So password attacks is something that is very common and easy because once you have access to your account and they are able to go through your password, definitely there will be data breach. Now we have these different attacks. We have brute force attack, dictionary attack, shoulder surfing, and all of that. So I don't explain it here. We even have phishing attack and key loader. So although they are malwares, there are also types of malwares that they are still categorized as false attacks because of definition. So remember keylogger. Remember the example I gave where the data that my friend got from his friend was what the password that he was able to impute in the past 2 days. That's why it's an example of a password attack. Then phishing attack also. When you click on the link and then they ask you for a password, they've gotten access to your data. So it's also a password attack. So all these passwords here that I did not explain, you guys will explain in your assignment. So now, how to prevent password attacks? We have one enforcing strong password policies. So this particular one, it goes as far as say, okay, I should implement it within myself personally and my organization. I should, if I'm working for an organization or if I'm an owner of an organization, I should make sure that my staff know about password security, they are cybersecurity aware, and then I implement a policy for password. That okay, everybody should have certain layout first for their passwords. You should just have the policy for safe passwords in my organization. Then enabling to multi-factor authentication. So I don't know if any of us, if since we are all on the internet, we always hear about two-factor authentication, multi-factor authentication. Do you guys have an idea of that? How many of us are using WhatsApp? We're all using WhatsApp, right?
Yeah.
So how many of us have two-factor authentication on our WhatsApp?
Verification. Yeah.
So if you don't have it, please don't have it because you're not preventing the password attack that way. So what multi-factor authentication does for you is that it adds extra layer of security. So even if they have a password, they would have to pass that other layer of security. Exactly. So they noticed that okay, sometimes some people still don't know how to get passwords right. They now implemented, security professionals have now implemented the idea of multi-factor authentication where you have to either put in your fingerprints or a particular PIN or a particular face or your face verification, that kind of thing. Then providing training on password security awareness. I think I already mentioned when I was explaining enforcing solid and strong password policies. So the same thing, you make sure that okay, you are password security aware, the people around you are password security aware to prevent password attacks. Then using password managers. So if at all you're complaining about the fact that I cannot have a long password, I cannot have a complex password, it's advised that you have a password manager. I have one that is installed on my system, it's called Bitwarden. So if, since I'm signing on my Bitwarden, it's and on I go online and there's a particular app, particular website I want to have access to and requires the password that I've forgotten. I can always just log in. The good thing about password managers is that the password is encrypted. So even if somebody wants to probably use shoulder software to look at your system as okay, let's use a password attack, a password manager, I want to see the password since saved there. No, you cannot see it. It's always once it is asterisk, showing that it's an encrypted data and all I have to do is click on it, it automatically puts it there and I can log in. Okay, so this is the assignment. I think I still have to include some more. You guys will have to turn it in. We are going to give enough time for it because questions, you guys will have to do a lot of research. So the reason why I'm not just handing over everything to you is that research skills is something that's very essential for your cybersecurity career. And although I don't know if it's simple because to me these questions are very simple. Yeah, but you carry out research and you will do the assignment. And for our final activity for today is that I will group everybody in teams. Is this are we and you present it on that day, next week Saturday. You present just like you have presented now. You and your teammates will come and present it like that. And I think what I will do is that I will separate the questions so that everybody does not come and present the same thing that day. So that's how we are going to learn more on cybersecurity awareness of each other. So I think the way we are seated can even be okay. So please, if this can be team A. So you write down the name of those people on the screen, phone numbers, create the WhatsApp group. That is the team. That's how you get the people working. Because as we continue, you're going to be doing practical work and you're working your team. So write down the names, take down phone numbers, and create WhatsApp group. In your WhatsApp group, assign the team leader. How many of us have laptops ahead? How many of us have laptops? I think many of us have there. You guys have access to it. How do that? So for whatever it is, the team leader has to have a laptop. The team leader has to have a laptop so that
Did,
let's
any,
say
did any of you volunteer to be team leads?
Yes.
Who? Okay. You have a laptop? Do you? Do you have a laptop? You don't have now. What happened? You sold it. You don't have it at all. Okay.
so for cybersecurity you need a laptop. And although what I'm going to do is that so that we're not going to be limited to what we can do. I will make the syllabus in a way that the specifications for laptop does not matter. That helps you get the foundational knowledge that you need for now. But as you proceed, especially for those people who want to go into the technical aspect of cybersecurity, I don't know if I'm supposed to enlighten you guys on career path in cybersecurity. Should I do that?
Sure.
Okay, so maybe next week after our team presentation, we're not going to do that one. Okay. So for those of you who want to go to technical aspect of cybersecurity, your laptop will matter.
Yes.
And it's always advisable to get a fast laptop. So you don't suffer. Everyone I finished with cybersecurity, when I had the laptop, I could never use it because it was bad. So, but as you proceed, you are going to activities when that time comes. So this is another thing to leave. And the first thing that you need to WhatsApp. The things should not be